only way to expose the truth is to be indecent. Two men might just be indecent enough to do it. Enter a wannabe amateur disc golfer who reads Reddit threads and a fake cowboy who lifts weights. This is Indecent Exposure. It's time to plunge down the rabbit hole with your hosts, Ryan and Sam.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a...
Let's go!
Let's go!
What's going on, Stanzy, today?
Samwise.
Yeah. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Huh?
Did you have a good weekend?
I mean, I worked Saturday.
Yeah.
I was off yesterday. Didn't do shit yesterday.
That's fine, man. That's what Sundays are for. I mean, we didn't have any football this weekend, so it was kind of a slow weekend whenever there's no football around, man.
Well, today's Monday that we're recording this. You know what's going on tonight.
No?
The Bachelor, bro.
Oh my God. Does Bailey make you watch that, or do you actually like to watch The Bachelor?
No, she makes me watch it. It's all right. It's fine.
It's drama, man. I used to watch it back
It's entertaining.
when I lived with my parents. Yeah, it's fine. That starts at 7, right?
Yeah.
Dang. We only got an hour and 50 minutes for this podcast, so we can't be late.
Shit.
Well,
Shit.
we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to start this podcast out with my tier list for fast food, and I'll go quick. I'm not going to go rambling in.
You don't have to go quick. We can...
But I think we're going to...
We're not here to rush things.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just looking out for everyone else that's listening, if they really want to get to the story or if they really enjoyed this. And I have hairy legs, so... Anywho, we're going to talk about Twitter files a little bit, and let's pray to God that we don't get another strike on our YouTube account.
I don't even care.
I don't either. 'Cause
I don't even care.
We're just reporting the facts, baby.
This is going to be a part-by-part series, Twitter files, so...
We'll talk a little bit about it. There's a lot.
YouTube's going to have their work cut out.
Yeah. I hope someone has to listen to us for an hour and 30 minutes, if that's their job.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
It'll be fine.
I was just checking our YouTube account to see if they actually pulled it because,
it's
still
up there, dude.
So
it's still up there.
They sent me the email, but I don't know why they gave us a strike, but oh well.
They gave us a strike?
They gave us a strike, yeah. But I would think if you gave us a strike, you're going to pull the episode. So I don't really know what to think.
No, either, man.
If I need to read in between the lines there, but yeah, they gave us a strike. So whatever. All right. Well, you want me to just get right into it?
Let's get into it.
All right.
Fast food.
You can judge me as much as you want.
You don't have to tell me that.
But I probably eat fast food like twice a week, at least. Like kind of on the go. Is that a lot?
No, it's not a lot.
No. Well, I try.
I would say more than like 4 meals would be a lot.
More than 4 meals. Like if I'm coming home from disc golf and Deb's out, or if I just want, I don't know, like that's when I'll typically get it. Just like a convenience thing. Like I don't want to cook. But we're just going to start from the top. A&W, I've never had one of their burgers. No, I've gone to the A&W / Long John Silver's. I've never ordered A&W, but I like their, if you ever been to the restaurant, and this is like where my family grew up, we didn't grow up at A&W, but it was like a lot of the times after church growing up, we'd go get A&W / Long John Silver's after church. That was kind of our thing for a minute there. So I'm going to go on never had because I can't rate them.
Okay, that's fair.
Arby's, we have the meats. Everyone gives shit to Arby's, but I think their food is very good.
Fuck Arby's,
dude. They're you can't go wrong with the beef and cheddar and their curly fries.
You can
slap.
You can. I've seen it. It almost killed one of my teammates.
Why? Because of the salt content?
No, because he got legitimate food poisoning.
How do you screw up roast beef? They cook that shit in water all day long. So I'm gonna put Arby's at C.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I've never had Baja Fresh, so Never even heard of that. Nor have I heard of Blimpie or had
Are
it.
these all like? What is the?
It is best fast food / fast casual restaurants tier list maker. So
But like one of them was like California. This one doesn't.
this
have
one
them.
isn't specifically to California, no.
It's just random ones
Yeah,
that are apparently popular.
I guess. But yeah, I've never had Bojangles. So I live in the Midwest. So does Ryan. Bojangles is not here. I think this is a East Coast / South thing. So I, again, can't rate them. We do have Boston Markets here. I've never had Boston Market, or maybe I was too young to remember, but I remember my dad for Mother's Day took my mom to Boston Market, and she was so pissed. And she was like, out of all places you're going to take me for Mother's Day, it's Boston Market. So again, I can't rate this one.
Wow.
Have you had Boston Market?
Not that I can recall,
Right.
but I'm saying wow to your dad taking your mom.
Right.
to
That's low.
a Mother's Day dinner. at
Low.
Boston.
Yeah, no, he never made that mistake again. Trust me. We always went out to nice places on Mother's Day. Burger King. So Whopper, Junior
Whopper, Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper.
You know what? About a week ago, I haven't had Burger King for at least like 10. Well, since I worked with you at our former employer.
I thought you were going to say since I worked there. I was like,
And the only stuff I had there was they had like the 10-piece nuggets for $1.50. You can't really trust that, but when you're poor and you're our age, it was substance. But
do they not have another famous burger? They don't have the bacon in it.
no, that's Wendy's. So I just had their straight up Whopper. It was like middle of the road. Their fries were okay.
Middle of the road.
It's just like if
very mid.
if
Very
you're
mid.
traveling and like that's the only thing to eat, you're like, all right. So I'm actually going to put that at a D because
It's a good
it's
spot.
consistent, but it's just it ain't. I don't go out of my way for it.
It's a good spot.
Like if Arby's and Burger King are the only places when I'm in BFE traveling, I'm probably going to eat at Arby's. Raising Cane's. So I've seen a lot of reviews about them. I don't have to go through all these, but I've seen a lot of reviews about them, and they're like the only redeeming quality about Raising Cane's is their sauce and their Texas toast. I have to agree with that. Their chicken is, when it is good, it's fresh and it's hot and it's ready and it's good, but there's not a lot of flavoring in it. That being said, that Texas toast, I could just substitute everything for the Texas toast, and I'm solid.
So to me, Raising Cane's with the sauce, I saw somebody else make this argument today. One of my buddies that I went to medic school with, he said that Raising Cane's, he said he doesn't like Raising Cane's because he says, like you said, the chicken's not very good. And he's like, all they have is good sauce.
I think the chicken's
And
good.
And he started trashing
There's
him.
just not a lot.
My thought
flavoring.
is the sauce is part of the experience.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Just like Chick-fil-A has Chick-fil-A sauce. I know we'll get to Chick-fil-A, but
Right.
it's part of the experience. So if you're going to judge Raising Cane's on its
On
food,
all aspects.
you're going to include the sauce.
You're right.
You're including
Okay.
the fucking sauce.
I might have to move them up to B because that sauce is undeniably the best.
It is so good. Do you remember when I spilt that all over myself?
No, was I here?
We were at Aerotech.
No, I don't remember that day specifically.
You don't remember that,
No.
dude? I dumped the sauce all over myself in the middle of a
Wow.
workday.
Must be a great day.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I'll move that up because the sauces experience.
That's
Their
fair.
coleslaw,
That's fair. I
their
understand
coleslaw
what you're saying about
slaps.
the chicken alone. Yeah, see? I mean, like, all the other attributes. Okay, so the chicken is by itself.
The chicken, which is
Isn't all that
but
flavorful.
I'm just gonna say this: that's their main ingredient, right? That should be the main course. If they would just
Yeah,
put
it's the
some
star of the
damn
show.
flavor in it, just some spices, that would go from B to S tier all the way.
And that's fair because, like, KFC, like, their chicken's fucking
In
delicious.
fact, I don't know why I have. Can I add another spot here? Hold on. There's got to be a way. Okay, maybe not. Maybe because I already started. But anyways, it's fine.
It's fine.
Carl's Jr. The only thing I really ever order from this place is they have a chicken sandwich that is phenomenal. It is like every time I order it, it always comes out hot and ready made because no one ever orders it. So they're like, shit, we got to throw one in the fryer.
We got to do this fresh.
Yeah, it's great. Their fries are typically really good. Always a consistent meal for me. I don't get it too often, but when I do, I'm never like unsatisfied. So I'm gonna throw that up to B.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
I disagree, but it's
I've never had Checkers.
Me neither. Fuck Checkers.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, baby.
All right.
What do you got?
I'm gonna put Carl's Jr. one level down.
There you go.
Just one level down because
thanks for being.
I think their burgers are also good, but it's been a minute. Chick-fil-A I think is
Thank you for being reasonable.
a B.
Reasonable.
Their chicken is good, but every time I order it, it's like it's
Chick-fil-A.
yeah. Their sandwiches are great.
Yeah.
Flavoring's there. It's always solid. But my only problem with Chick-fil-A is like they make all their sandwiches like in the morning. So when you finally get your Chick-fil-A, it's never like a crispy chicken sandwich. Never get that crunch factor. Flavor wise, it's fantastic. But my God, if you had a just like came right out of fryer Chick-fil-A sandwich, that's the best all day.
That's fair. I guess that's fair. I've never noticed that until
the fries
you just said
typically kind of like lukewarm, kind of like they've been sitting there for a minute. I never get them like super fresh. Their sauce is absolutely amazing. I know they have like Polynesian sauce. Never liked it, but just that Chick-fil-A sauce, just like Cane's, is right there with me on that.
I think that's a good spot for Chick-fil-A.
Thanks. I think so too. F all day.
Wow.
I hate Chipotle. Hear me out.
Why? Why?
Okay.
I want to hear this.
Okay. Every time I order, so one, their portions are atrocious. Atrocious. I absolutely hate their portions, which, you know what? I typically go there and get the bowl and 2 tortillas on the side because I like to basically make 2 meals out of it. Portions are dog shit. There's no flavoring in anything. I know they say they sprinkle all their flavorings, and the meat and all the ingredients I feel like are just always sitting out for hours at end. And when you finally get your whatever you get, it's just like it's mediocre hospital food, and it's not warm, it's not hot,
hospital food.
It's nothing special.
Hospital food. Okay,
it's right there with hospital food.
For me, Chipotle is about a C. And I think Chipotle is good depending on where which
sure,
location
but there shouldn't be that much inconsistency. And it's not that hard
I agree.
Screw up a burrito.
That's why it's a C for me. Because I love Chipotle, but I was actually in a Twitter beef with Chipotle last summer.
They actually messaged you?
Yeah, on Twitter, because I was ranting on Twitter because they completely screwed up our orders. They would like you said, it didn't even taste. It wasn't even like hot. It was like they gave me half a bowl, and I literally was on Twitter every day complaining about Chipotle. And they finally reached out to me on Twitter, and then they refunded us, and they said they were going to reach out to the store and argue on my behalf. And I was like, that's great. I mean, and it's like, yeah.
To that argument, great customer service on your end, but I've just never cared about it. I'd rather go to Qdoba or Moe's.
Fuck Qdoba.
No.
See, I think Qdoba's trash.
You can't argue that the value that you're getting with all the other stuff that you can get at the end that they're not going to charge you for.
I've never thought Qdoba tastes good.
All right, moving on. That's where I stand with Chipotle, and that's fair. Churches, I put it as C. I've never had a bad experience at Churches. Good flavoring on their chicken. Their biscuits are fire. And that's it.
Not overwhelmingly good.
Right.
Not bad.
Nothing right home about, but you know what? If it's in the area and I'm feeling fried chicken, I'm probably going to go there versus KFC. I have no idea what
Cookout.
I've never had Cookout. Fresh. What is that? I don't even know. I can't. Culver's, the best.
That's your elite. Culver's for me, probably in the B, C range.
Culver's consistently delivers the best like steak type burger. You cannot tell me that a Butterburger, when you're hungover, sober, whatever the state in mind, and you're just feeling a good burger, it's it. It slaps every time. My only complaint with Culver's is probably their fries. I feel like I never get a fresh fry from there. That being said, that burger is hands down. It's cooked fresh. It's great. Their cheese curds are absolutely amazing. If you never had their Atlantic cod, if you're ever feeling fish, that sandwich blew me out of the water. I got a coupon.
Blew
me out
of the water.
So Culver's takes it easy. Never had Del Taco. Denny's is about as close as Chipotle. It's just it's easy to cook breakfast food, and like it's like where my grandparents would go.
You never had a Denny's
Grand Slam? I have, but I'm just saying, like, in perspective to the type of food. So it's like typically breakfast food, right? It's not hard to screw breakfast food up. It should be really cheap. It's kind of not because it's on a corporate level. So that's where I'm going to put Denny's. Not saying like I wouldn't go. I'll also go. Domino's. Kind of consistent, kind of mid, just doesn't hit, doesn't slap. But if there's one in my area, I can't go wrong.
Okay, what's your number one pizza place?
The fast food. We'll find out in here in a second. Okay. Well, I'll put it out there. DQ, I'm actually going to put it at C. If you ever had one, their ice cream slaps, right? Their food is consistent. It's always hot. It's always fresh and ready. I've never had a bad meal from DQ. It's consistent as hell.
I don't think I've ever actually. The only time I've ever eaten from DQ, I got like, I don't even know what I got. I got like some sort of chicken meal from there, and it was not that great.
Okay, yeah, I'm putting it on a consistent level. It's probably like I
probably rate it lower. I think its saving grace is it's like Blizzards,
right? And that's where I think it gets the edge over Burger King. I'm not going to Burger King to get their ice cream, right? So they do a good job with that. So that puts that in the C category. Never had Pollo Loco. Firehouse. Ooh.
To me, Firehouse is like pretty elite.
It's pretty damn good
in the sub game.
It's
pretty elite in the sub game.
I'm gonna have to put them up there. Oh, gosh, I mean, I always want to put them as like the best. I would
for Firehouse subs.
I've never had a bad Firehouse subs. I've had a lot of them, almost the whole menu. Never had a bad experience. And the fact that they always have like all the hot sauces on display for you to just go try, amazing. No other restaurant does that.
Yeah,
and it's cool. Love it. Five Guys I haven't had in a long time. I know that their burgers are solid, but it's so damn expensive that it kind of like knocks it down to like a C level for me.
Fries are phenomenal. Here's a fucking bag of fries.
Yeah, here's all the fries.
Oh, you wanted a McDonald's order of fries?
No,
we're gonna give you a fucking bag of them.
Right. And maybe I need to go try Five Guys again because it probably could flirt with the best.
And you know what? They have bags of potatoes out everywhere. They do. So you know it's real. You know it's real. IHOP. Fuck IHOP.
I'm going right here with Denny's. Like I said, nothing special. It's consistent with the breakfast thing. And it's overpriced as hell.
Yeah.
In-N-Out. I'm going to put...
I've never had In-N-Out, so I have no opinion.
It wasn't a bad burger. It wasn't like over the top for me. It was really consistent, kind of like with these other ones. You could probably move it up to B, to be honest. In fact, I probably will. It's it's a really good burger.
I'll take your word for it.
It's a really good burger. If you see one, you've never been, go try it. I think it's a really solid burger. F, all around. Everyone
what is it?
Jack in the Box. Everyone goes there.
I've never had Jack in the Box.
They're like shitty tacos. Their burger tastes like Burger King, but worse. And these tacos are like this size. I'm like 3 inches. 3 inches. And
relative.
And they are like
relative.
You couldn't even I could find a better frozen taco at Costco than I could ever eat from that place. Screw them. Jersey Mike's. Oh gosh. It's
Jersey Mike's pretty decent.
Jersey Mike's going to have to go B. If not,
a B's good.
If
I
not
agree.
A, but Jersey Mike's
Pretty
consistent,
damn good.
fantastic. We'll leave it at that.
Pretty damn good.
I want to
John's?
put them at the best.
Put them. I love Jimmy John's.
I'm going to go there because Jimmy John's is somewhere
Fresh sandwiches, dude.
fresh bread. Everyone's like,
Great
everyone's
bread.
like, oh, it's the bread. It's too thick. Well, you know what? You can actually get the bread pulled from their sandwiches. Their meats are fantastic. The ingredients are perfect every time. I've never said, damn, I really regret having that Jimmy John's today.
No,
Fantastic.
I love Jimmy John's.
Never had a Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Yeah.
It's weird. Kind of weird. Creep me out. KFC.
You've had Jollibee?
No,
Okay.
The fucking
it's a
locals
little
creep me
creepy.
out.
KFC, I'm going to put at a C.
That's fair.
It's never bad chicken. It's hella greasy. Their crunch is always like super consistent. All their sides are great. I remember growing up on KFC Famous Bowls, and for like $5,
The meat witch. Didn't they have the meat witch?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
It was like meat between a fucking two fried chicken breast patties.
yeah. I think it's something on that level. I think it was called.
They said, you know what? Screw it. We're going to give you a sandwich
Right.
made out of chicken.
Yeah,
Fried chicken.
yeah. You're right. It was chicken patties on both sides, and then yeah. So KFC, I think, is rightfully where it needs to be. Little Caesars. Let's be honest, it's shit pizza.
No. Let's be honest. It's a B.
A B.
Let's be
I'm going to move
honest.
that up to a D.
You wanna be honest?
I'm going to move that up to a D.
If you want to be honest, let's be honest. What fast food company, what pizza company advertises a hot and ready in 5 minutes? They have pizzas ready for you when you get there. You don't have to wait. And it's pretty good
Is it
pizza.
better than Domino's pizza though?
I mean,
Their thing is, it's hot and it's ready. And I make this joke with Deb all the time.
I guarantee you, if I blindfolded you and put a pepperoni hot and ready and a pepperoni Domino's in front of your face, you wouldn't know the difference.
I think I would. I'm going to put.
I don't
I'm
think
going
you
to put
would.
Little Caesars where it belongs. It's a D,
It's not a D, and I think you know it deep down.
maybe. But it's been years since I've had a
Maybe.
Little Caesars, so
I know you can't find them anymore. It's kind of
there's
weird.
actually one opening up like right next to my house by Johnny's Tavern there.
That's pretty big. That's
I
big
know.
time.
So I'm like,
That's big
Deb,
time.
I might have to go get one. It's hot and it's ready. But is it good?
hot and it's ready.
It's hot,
I mean-
hot and it's ready.
It's hot and it's ready. Okay, they didn't say come get
The best pizza.
a 5-star. Yeah, come get a Michelin star rated pizza
In 5 minutes or
It's
less.
hot and it's ready. Just put it in your face.
Right.
It's hot and ready.
All right.
It's $5.
This is gonna shock people. This is
I've never
Long
had
John Silver's is one of my guilty pleasures. Their cod, which comes into it's literally a rhombus. That's the shape of the cod.
What? Hold on. It's a rhombus cod.
Yeah. Here.
Is that farm raised?
Oh God, no.
Are they farm? Oh, it's fresh caught.
Sure. We'll go with that. But this is the shape. No, this is the shape it's in. It's literally this. And dude, but no, hear me out. This fish comes out piping hot, like burn your mouth off every time. The hush puppies are
I was gonna say how that's
so good. They're fantastic. They're
Better
soft. They're
than Johnny's?
moist. Yes, 100%.
no. They're
I swear to
not.
God, their fries are
Johnny's
hot
has- Johnny's
and piping.
Tavern.
And their coleslaw,
Johnny's
like
Tavern.
everything in this meal right now, I could literally have every single week. It is perfect.
Yeah, but what you're saying is really, really irresponsible because Johnny's Tavern
It's pretty good.
has elite.
It
hush
does.
puppies.
No. Go to this place this week. There's one near you. There's one off 152, and it's near you. It's by Longboards. It's so good.
So it's towards the square,
Sure. I don't know where the square technically is.
the downtown.
It's headed in the direction of the college there.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's near the
Okay.
square.
Then yeah.
Sorry.
Long John Silver's for me slaps. McDonald's.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Let's just
We,
call
we
a spade
don't
a
we don't
spade.
even have to talk about this. Quarter pounder is their best burger. Big Mac is a slapper as well. When their fries are
Big
fresh,
Mac sauce, dude.
oh my god,
Genius.
amazing!
Simple, but
It's
genius.
so good. It just
Let's call a spade a spade. Elite.
and
McDonald's is
I can
elite.
throw. So this is my favorite thing. If I'm like, I know I don't want to eat till like 8 or 9. Like I like to eat my dinners late. I can throw this shit in the fridge, cook it in the microwave or in the air fryer, and it comes out like it just did. Anyways, nothing else needs to be said.
A McChicken with fries on it, on top
Done.
of the.
Done. Everything's consistent. Everything's seasoned perfectly. Like, I don't have to talk anymore. I've never had something bad from McDonald's. In fact, remember their breakfast when they used to have the bagel, like the steak bagel and like the egg bagel?
Oh,
and then
yeah,
they took
dude.
that away, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
what are you doing? That was arguably one of your best breakfast item, which the best breakfast item
Yeah.
is Egg McMuffin. It's the best thing you could have. Slap
Egg
a
McMuffin.
slap a
I was gonna
biscuit.
say the
biscuit one's
the
great.
biscuit.
Or if we're
bacon-
really
bacon
feeling something
cheese biscuit.
fun, let's just do the pancake patties instead and get a McGriddle.
Oh yeah, their McGriddles are phenomenal.
Their breakfast is the best out of any fast food. I don't care. It's better than IHOP.
What do you need
and
what
Denny's.
was that? You needed a breakfast burrito?
Right.
Let's get a sausage burrito with some picante sauce.
Done. Easy. All right.
Done.
Good.
Easy.
Glad we agree. Moe's, I only had in college. I haven't had since then.
Don't know it.
It was
No opinion.
The thing I liked about Moe's is they gave you free chips and salsa and cheese if you wanted.
So it's Mexican?
Yeah, it's just like a Chipotle. And I'm gonna put that just above because I haven't had it since I graduated, and that was 7 years ago now. So
Take your
I
word for
will.
it.
Noodles and Company. God, there's a lot. Noodles and Company is great.
Really good company.
Yeah, never had a bad meal. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that there.
B. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because there's no other fast food like pasta place other than what's it called? It starts with an S. That I've never had. That, anyways, great. Panda Express. It's good, cheap Chinese.
It is.
Their orange chicken. That's the only reason anyone ever goes there. And their
Double it up
their
for me.
chow mein is fantastic.
Double the orange chicken and give me noodles and leave me
Yep.
alone.
My salt levels are just beyond where they need to be. Panera Bread. I've never
Doesn't matter.
had a bad meal. A lot of people compare Panera to hospital food. I've never had a bad meal, and I like all their soups.
I like Panera.
Yeah.
They have good
I don't
sandwiches
think it's like
and they get good
anything
soups.
over the top.
They give you soup in a bread bowl.
True. Probably could move up to
So
a
let's
C.
everyone relax, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. But not bad. I love bread. So I'll move that up to a C because I'm gonna have a hard on. Papa John's is better than any of the other pizza places I've mentioned because that butter garlic sauce is really good.
I gotta pull up the TikTok, the Papa John's TikTok.
I don't even know what this is. PDQ. You ever seen
I
that?
don't know. Get rid of it.
I've never had.
Penn
I've never
Station?
had Penn
Get rid of that.
Station. No. Pizza Hut is going to be a B for me. Their pizza's always really good. Their stuffed crust is the OG, and it's fantastic. I literally had it last week. Their pizza's great. Can't complain. Popeyes, it's going to have to be a B. Their chicken is fun. Actually, you know what?
Never had Popeyes.
I haven't had enough to put it to the best, but I haven't even had their spicy chicken sandwich, which I've heard is like the best. And I've tried all of them except Popeyes. Crazy thing in Overland Park here, there's not a lot of Popeyes for, whatever reasons that is. But yeah, can't complain. Portillo's says Chicago-based restaurant mainly.
Never had it.
I had it last year. Just a good old-fashioned Chicago dog. Phenomenal. All their sides were amazing.
So hot dogs?
It's expensive. Yeah, but they have other stuff. But like, if you want to go get a true Chicago dog, you go to this place. It's expensive. It's really good though. Potbelly subs.
What did he say?
I love a good wiener in my
What did
mouth.
you say?
Potbelly subs.
What?
I'm gonna have to put in
Yeah.
the B category.
Pretty good.
It's really good.
Potbelly's pretty phenomenal.
Never had a bad sub
Big
from
fan
there.
of Potbelly's.
Yeah, and they have very
I see
interesting
the next
subs.
one. Yeah,
Qdoba.
but I see the next one. Qdoba. Qdoba can fuck off. I know you
I'm
disagree.
gonna put it
but
next
that's
to
how I feel. Yeah,
because all these places,
wrong,
these
but that's fine.
Chipotle's, these
It's fine,
Moe's,
dude. You're
Qdobas
wrong.
are
It's fine.
all kind of the same. It's kind of hard to.
You're wrong.
It's hard to. Hey, Ryan, you know what? It's hard to screw up a big ass burrito, right? Like
Yeah.
you could argue that Taco Bell is right there with them. You're putting the same
With who?
with all these like better fast, Mexican places, burrito places. But I'm gonna put Taco Bell here in a minute where it needs to go.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, Qdoba or Quiznos.
Is that even a business anymore?
I always liked them. I'm gonna have to put them with the D's because I like toast. Actually, you know what?
Yeah, because they toast their sandwiches.
Yeah, we're just gonna put them with F's because they're not around anymore. I haven't seen a Quiznos in forever. Don't know what Roy Rogers is. I've never had Saboro. I know it's a pizza place in New York. Actually, I probably have. It's dog shit usually.
I just want to say we're 30 minutes into this.
I
episode.
know. I didn't think this was going to take. I'm rushing now. I've never had Schlotzsky's. Shake Shack.
Schlotzsky's is decent. It's probably a C,
pricey.
C or D.
Because I went and had the Diablo burger from First We Feast, and it was
Have we had Shake Shack?
really good. No, you didn't have it with me. I had it with Brandon 2-3 months ago.
Okay.
I've never had Sheets. Never had Skyline. Sonic's kind of, other than their drinks, are kind of.
Yeah, you go there for the drinks.
Yeah, it's a D.
be honest.
It's a DF. It's an F. I can't tell you last time I had Sonic. I love
Shake's
Steak and
pretty
Shake.
Steak burgers.
Steak burgers.
OG steak
Them and like
burgers, their fries.
Freddy's is right there as almost
Yeah.
being Freddy's. I'd put in the best, but they're great. Yeah, their fries, like everything's great. Subway is the trailer trash of subs at this point.
Subs. Agreed.
Never had Swenson's. I got to put Taco Bell. It's the best.
Taco Bell's elite.
It's elite.
If you disagree, fucking move to Russia.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
because you're clearly a communist. You're clearly a Russian spy.
It is so consistent.
Elite.
It's way too expensive for what it is, but damn it, when I go and leave
No,
there
it's not.
after
I
$20,
would spend-
yeah, it is. It's
I'll
gotten
spend
more
money on it.
expensive over the years, but
Supply and demand.
it's amazing. It's amazing. Never had.
You know what they did? They said, "Hey, we're bringing back the Mexican pizza." And you know what they said 2 weeks later? They said, "Holy shit,
People
we didn't
love
make enough ingredients for the
Right.
Mexican pizza. Give us a
And
minute."
I was like, you guys sell basically the same like 6 ingredients for every item that you have. So
and each one is unique in its own way
I know
and delicious.
it's crazy. Have you had Torchy's yet?
Never had Torchy's.
Torchy's is
Never
really
had
good.
Torchy's. Heard it's pretty
Really good.
Heard good things.
Big ass tacos. They have a ton of sauces to choose from. Yeah, they're huge. Like you normally eat, I don't know, like 5-6 tacos, and you go to like a little Mexican joint. No, you're probably gonna eat like 2 or 3 of these. They're massive. Haven't had Waffle House in a minute, but I know it should belong BC category.
I haven't had Waffle House in a long time either.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know what you're getting yourself into when you go and order from Waffle House. Like, I want my cigarette ashes in the coffee with the butter.
Yeah.
Like, you know. I've never been to a Waffle. I know it's an East Coast thing.
I want the pissed off waitress. It's 3 a.m. She's already been dealing with people all
Yep.
day. She's pissed off.
Wendy's
Yeah.
is A tier.
You think so?
I think so. It's either A or B. It's right in the middle.
If we're gonna say that, I'd put it B. But their Baconator.
Their Baconator is everything to live to. Great burgers. Their chicken sandwiches are great. Their spicy chicken sandwich. No, I'm gonna leave it where it belongs. It's right there.
I put a B, but you put it.
I think I agree with you. Whataburger is about a B for me. I
don't know if I've had Whataburger.
love Whataburger. Every time I go to Texas, it's something I have to have. it's
Crazy.
it's kind of like a Wendy's. Like I'm with you now. Wendy's, Whataburger, I put right side by side. I wouldn't be mad about either or. Whataburger's just got consistent, and that consistently will happen in Kansas City once it's been here for a minute. White Castle,
Trash.
unless I am
Trash.
stony baloney or I am just so gone. This is the only thing I want.
It's trash.
It's pretty bad. It's way overpriced for what you get. Never been to a Wiener Schnitzel. I don't even know what this is. Wings?
It's very generic.
Wingstop.
I've never had Wingstop.
I'll probably put it as C. I haven't had it in a minute, but the only thing that bothered me about Wingstop was like they always serve naked wings, and so they're like really thin. So like you get from like Hooters, breaded. Well, most places are naked, but their flavors are great. I just remember like little measly wings, and I'm just like, prying off every little bit of meat to get there. Anyways, lastly, Zaxby's is dog shit.
I think I've only had it one time.
I've had it 3 or 4 times, and every time I've had it, the bun's dry, their chicken's just like meh. They have Zaxby sauce, and it's like a knockoff of cane sauce. Not that good. So there it is. I'm gonna have to save that because that's
almost 40 minutes into this episode.
Holy shit! I was like, oh, this will be really quick.
Yeah,
my bad. So
you're good.
We can talk about what we wanted to talk about. My apologies.
You're good.
I don't have to log into this. I'll just screenshot it.
But first, because we talked about Papa John's.
Better ingredients, better bitches, better clothes, better. Fuck Lucy's, fuck Domino's.
God damn.
Sorry.
Yeah, because doesn't Papa John get in trouble for being like racist?
Yeah, he did.
What a guy.
Yeah, let me pull this up.
Yeah, I think it was during the meeting. Did he say the N-word during the meeting, or did he just say something like really crude for black people?
I don't remember what he said, but I know it was bad.
Well, another day. Really bad. Love it. I mean, I don't love it, but it is what it is. All right. So I feel like I've just done all the talking. So please, I need a mental break for myself.
Okay. So as you mentioned, we're discussing Twitter files today. And this was something that Elon Musk had kind of foreshadowed when he was going to take over the platform. Just because his big thing was freedom of speech and getting rid of the censorship that had been taking place on the platform, which a lot of people on the left and a lot of former executives at Twitter kind of denied and turned a blind eye to. And if you've read any of the Twitter files, especially in the first release by Matt Taibbi, you kind of see that they were involved in it. The only one that was kind of not really kept up to speed was their CEO, Jack Dorsey, which was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the first installment of the Twitter files, the really only place you can find it is on Twitter by Matt Taibbi, and he's been pretty good about releasing it. They have kind of had it reviewed by two journalists.
Yeah.
David, and that was Taibbi, as you see, and Barry Weiss.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So the first installment of the Twitter files kind of goes over how Twitter was very much slanted towards liberals and the Democratic Party because a lot of their employees in a lot of higher level positions and executives were Democrats, and most of the funding came from the Democrats. And we have some charts that kind of show that. They also address the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story, which we now know is much bigger than we thought it was. just because of the implications with his business dealings in Ukraine,
Mhm.
how that implicates Joe Biden, even stuff like child pornography that they might have found on his laptop, and him doing drugs. And this is all Hunter Biden. Not saying that Joe Biden was partaking in any of that, but there were some keywords like the big guy, in which people were like, it's obviously Joe they're talking about.
Could be all speculatory.
All speculative. But yeah, so as we see on here, let's scroll down.
All
here.
allegedly.
All allegedly. As you can see, I can actually open up the first installment here. Take us to the Twitter thread.
Okay.
This was on December 2nd of last year, 2022, when this officially came out. So, there we go. All right. So it just kind of talks about what we're going to be talking about. They talk about the big thing was how Twitter was meant to be like the first ever real-time mass communication platform for everyone around the world, where you could post
and they did
in real time.
Yeah, they did a great job with that.
And that's what it. Yeah, that's what it was, and kind of how it's been, despite some big changes along the way.
Which in my opinion, I never thought that Twitter was going to take off, because I think during the time when Twitter was first introduced, it was like, well, what's the point of making a tweet versus making a Facebook status sort of thing? Because I could follow people on Facebook and have read the same thing. So it's amazing that Twitter took off the way it did. So anywho,
yeah, and it's just it's a lot. I think it's just meant for more fast paced,
breaking
news and communication,
opposed
to Facebook, where you're sharing your life and your events happening in your life, in posts, and having to go to someone's profile. Whereas Twitter's like bang, 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 and you can just reply, retweet, whatever. And even talks about that. He even talks about that here. Matt Taibbi does, and how Twitter lived up to its mission statement of giving people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. But then it also goes on to say that over time they introduced barriers, which we've come to see, with suppression of certain ideologies and promotion of other ideologies, and Twitter kind of taking not the stance, but the lead on what they think is acceptable language and stories that can be shared, and they're kind of being the deciders of misinformation and disinformation. And it even shows in these files that it says here, by 2020, requests from connected actors to delete tweets were routine. One executive would write to another, more to review from the Biden team, and the reply would come back handled. And here's kind of the tweets.
Yeah, which I believe have been deleted, because I was watching a video from Asmongold, a really popular, probably one of the most popular Twitch streamers, was like, oh, this is all revenge porn sort of thing. So he's like, he said, in quotes, I'm glad that they deleted those tweets. Obviously, I'm too. No one needs that. And apparently, dick pics and whatnot. So,
okay, well, that's different. If it's,
when you're that getting serious stuff, no one needs that on the internet.
No, that kind of stuff is that's not what Twitter's for.
No,
that's not speech. Dick pics are not. That's not speech. That's.
However, it is still mind blowing to this day that porn is allowed on Twitter.
I know, but it's stuff like this when you have the Biden administration in office, October 24th, 2020, and they're like, we want these. They're basically saying we want these tweets and these people either suspended or we want these tweets removed. And then it says Twitter comes back saying, handle these. And so we're getting direct influence from the government, who is supposed to be, following the Constitution and First Amendment rights. And Twitter is actively saying, we will do what you say, master, and deleting those tweets. That was the first that's kind of a lot of this was happening before Biden administration was in office, and even Trump, the Trump team was saying, "Hey, can you review certain tweets?"
Yeah, I know it came from both sides.
Yeah, but it seems that it was more slanted.
Yeah, based on the political parties that were
based on
donating.
like right here.
Yeah. Yeah,
An additional report from the DNC.
Right. I want to say from,
and this guy, James Woods.
I want to say when I watched Asmongold's video that like there it is. Yeah. So that's what he was talking about. The tweet 11 there, the contributions,
which is the contributions,
which is it's kind of skewed by one party, so not totally surprising in a sense, but as long as money and politics is involved, then you're probably going to get stuff like this, especially when it comes to corporations controlling certain demographic.
But I think what's concerning is that it's like you're in the upper 90%.
It's pretty skewed one way, which is not surprising.
Very much so. And it says here the system wasn't well balanced. It was based on contacts.
Right.
So there were more left-leaning, liberal, Democrat voting employees in Twitter. So they had more contacts with Democrats, liberals.
I wonder how those like interviews go down. Like, do we know if this guy's like on our side or against it or kind of in the middle? Like, I wonder how they went about that process to know that they got the right gang with them. Not saying that like Democrats or Republicans are gangs, but just affiliated with one certain side, or maybe once you get in, it's just like this is how we do things. This is how you should think, sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm sure they had.
It's very interesting.
I'm sure they had certain questions that they wanted certain answers
and
to.
They're going back on a lot of these people's profiles and reviewing qualifications based on their social media accounts. Because I know someone could probably look at mine and be like, well, he probably leans one way or the other, I would think. Because all those public opinions are out there for everyone to just read into, right?
Yeah, but like the best way I've seen it kind of described nowadays is like, see if I can do this. So like you have left wing, you have right wing, and then like in the middle, we'll say like, there's the middle, my pinky. And as the left has drifted more and more and more and more far left, it's become like this. And so now if you're moderate, which is the center one, they label you as all right, conservative when you're just moderate. Right. And you've maintained your
meaning like the people on the left have gone so far left that people that were in the middle, 10, 15 years ago are now conservative and their liking or what their logic is.
Exactly.
Right.
So, Twitter files, part 1, how and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. So the New York Post posted this original Biden secret emails. Ukrainian exec thanked Hunter Biden for opportunity to meet Veep dad with the abandoned laptop, which is weird that you would just leave your laptop with all this sensitive information on it. Anywho, Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They blocked its transmission via DMs and a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, like saying that, there's child pornography, therefore we're censoring it.
Sure.
But there's not actual child pornography in the article. They make mention of it because it was allegedly found on the laptop.
Allegedly, okay.
So they're being manipulative of how they're suppressing the story. And then when Trump was in office, or not when Trump was in office, I can't remember when this came out, October 14th. So Kayleigh McEnany was the former spokesperson for the White House.
So he was still in office.
So this was be like during or just before the election. Right. So Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story and simply tweeting about it. And the Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn wrote this email. And the last sentence is kind of the one that's
Right. At least
pretty
at
telling.
least pretend to care for the next 20 days. You know,
Yeah.
20 days,
Instead
there's
of
going to be
like-
a new president elected, or the same one
Yeah.
gets reelected.
And she was logged out of her account for simply talking about the New York Post story. She's just cited the story in firsthand reporting that has been reported by other outlets and not disputed
Crazy.
by the Biden.
Kind of like what we've done.
That was the weird part.
About a couple of our own episodes that we've just talked about stories, and then we just talk about
Got
them.
censored.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. And then he says this led to Caroline Storm, who is the public policy executive,
Wait, she
sending out a
worked-
polite "What the fuck?"
She
query.
work at Twitter? Did she?
Yeah.
And they censored her
She
own
did.
like employee.
Yeah. Several employees noted that there was tension between the comms policy teams, who had little less control or
Can
moderation.
you imagine your own company saying like, "No, we're suspending your own account, and you work here"?
Yeah. And they're saying, can you guys maybe take a closer look at this? Like, because it doesn't seem like we're violating anything here,
Right.
but we're going to go ahead and suspend people. Returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for hacked materials policy, which is where it gets a little head scratching. User is bounced by site integrity for violating hacked materials. That's it.
Elaine Soto.
Elaine Soto.
Interesting.
Several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks. There's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. Exactly, because they were quiet and they didn't talk about it.
That there was no hacks, but they're making something up.
Right. And what also is weird is the decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal, policy, and trust, Vijaya Gadde, playing a key role. Which he was like one of the first people that Elon cut out.
Yeah. Well,
Twitter.
shocker.
Shocker. They just freelanced it, quote, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it.
Right. It's like you
So
already
you had-
buried your shit so deep that it's like.
And so you had employees that knew it was bullshit,
Right.
but didn't want to lose their
Right.
jobs. So, and here it shows confusion in an exchange between Vijaya and former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Comms official Trent Kennedy writes, "I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe." So, here's the exchange. Privileged and confidential. Our teams continue to investigate the origins. Explainability. We're waiting to understand the story as a result of hacked materials.
So they're basically saying, and so they're like, oh my gosh, they're just burying this even deeper. They're saying, oh, her account got hacked, and so she started tweeting about this. And then so we had to.
No, there's.
Am I
can't
reading
tell
this
if it's-
wrong?
I think the best explainability argument for this should only be that we're waiting to understand if this story is the result of hacked materials.
That's what I'm saying. They're
I don't know if they're saying like.
hacked materials from either the story or from her
Yeah.
account being hacked and saying that, oh,
I don't know.
she
I don't know
tweeted
which
about
way.
it one time. And so we got to, not ban her, but just delete it, which would blow my mind that you work for a company and you probably want like fair press on both sides
Which
or
leads
any
to,
side, really.
Which leads to Katie Rosborough saying, will we also mark similar stories as unsafe?
Probably.
So anytime somebody tweets about
Hunter Biden.
a story, are we going
Right.
to, or anything with a politician, are we going to mark it as unsafe?
Right. You would
Probably not.
I know, but like if they're going to base their reasoning off her, then you probably would have to. I would imagine, dude.
And then they said the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. So, Yoel Roth, policy basis is hacked materials, though as discussed, this is an emerging situation where the facts remain unclear. Given the severe risks here in lessons of 2016, again,
Right.
2016 proved that there was not any Russian interference. We had a 2-year investigation.
Right.
And the guy that actually did the investigating was found to be the one colluding with Russia.
Was found to be what?
The guy one of the people that led the investigation, the Trump collusion with Russia, was the one that was actually colluding with Russia.
Crazy how that is.
Yep. We're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing this content from being amplified. What is the warning that will come up? When you click on the link, you'll see the generic unsafe URL message. Not ideal, but it's the only thing we have. Whatever we do in the comms, this will become a bias claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Let's make it clear we're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through the lens of our hacked materials policy and allowing the link with a warning and significant reduction of spread. So they're forcing this into their hacked materials policy.
Right. Yeah, not that it was already signed, sealed, and delivered. It was just already a thing.
They're forcing it into the policy. It doesn't fit in the policy, but they're forcing it into the policy. Former VP of Global Comms Brandon Borman asked, "Can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy?" To Ian's point, can we truthfully claim this is part of the policy? I.e., as part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, we are limiting visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing.
All right, come on, you. What's their investigation?
Suspicious.
Right. So.
All right. We're talking about Jim Baker here, former Deputy General Counsel, seems to advise saying the non-course because caution is warranted. Seems reasonable. I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked. At this stage, however, it is reasonable for us to assume that they might have been, and that caution is warranted. There are some facts that indicate that the materials may have been hacked, while there are others indicating that the computer was either abandoned and or the owner consented to allow the repair shop to access it for at least some purposes. We simply need, more information.
Okay.
Yeah, but a fundamental problem with tech companies and content moderation, many people in charge of speech know/care little about speech and have to be told the basics by outsiders. This is where it gets a little surprising, because a Democratic congresswoman by the name of Ro Khanna reaches out to Gaddy to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash of speech. The only Democratic official that actually did this. And all she's saying is that she wants to talk about the suppression
it's going to be
of the story.
Huge backlash.
Which is surprising. Gaddy replies quickly, immediately driving into the weeds of Twitter policy, unaware Ro Khanna is more worried about the Bill of Rights. Says, thank you for reaching out, and we appreciate the heads up. We put out a clarifying thread of tweets earlier this evening to explain our policy around the position or the posting of private information and linking directly to hacked materials. I don't know what that means, of private information. The press secretary's account was not permanently suspended. We requested that she delete the tweet containing material that is in violation of our rules, and her account is restricted until she complies. But what's weird about that is that it was an article put out by a news publication, and she just shared it.
True.
So I'm not sure how that's.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Hacked.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think it's hacked, but I'm glad that representative reached out and said that this might be really bad for you guys.
For all of us.
Yeah, true.
So then Khanna tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment. Ro Khanna to Vijay Gaddy. Hope you're well, Vijaya, vagina. But this seems a violation of the First Amendment principles. If there is a hack of classified information or other information that could expose a serious war crime and the New York Times was to publish it, I think the New York Times should have that right. A journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source unless they actively aided the hack. So to restrict the distribution of that material, especially regarding a presidential candidate, seems not in the keeping of the principles of New York Times v. Sullivan. I say this as a total Biden partisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong. But the story now has become more about censorship than relatively innocuous emails, and it's become a bigger deal than it would have been. It also is now leading to serious efforts to curtail Section 230, many of which would have been a mistake. I believe Twitter itself should curtail what it recommends or puts in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups is all good. It's a hard balance. But in the heat of a presidential campaign, restricting dissemination of newspaper articles, even if New York Post is far right, seems like it will invite more backlash than it will do good. Please keep this communication between Jack, just us and Jack, and no need to CC the team or forward to them. I agree with some of that.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
No, and I agree that I agree with what she says here. I can't highlight it, but where she talks about a journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source when they're just presenting what's being reported. I disagree with this.
Yeah, that I believe Twitter should curtail whatever recommends and putting in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups is all good. It's a hard balance.
I disagree with that. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get QAnon is what it is, but it's not hard for someone to post, for someone from QAnon to post something, and then for someone else to actually post something that's contradictory.
Yep. I think if you're going to turn the blind eye against one, then you have to do it against all, right? Or vice versa.
Right. So it's not a hard balance. I disagree with that. It's not a hard balance.
But it is in her opinion because
it is in her opinion because she thinks that QAnon is far right. Which I don't know what QAnon
maybe
is.
We should get into QAnon one episode, but we don't know. I've researched a little bit about QAnon. It's, from what it seems, pretty far-fetched and in terms of truth and reality, but I digress.
All right, so within a day, Head of Public Policy Lauren Culbertson receives a ghastly letter/report from Carl Szabo of the research firm NetChoice, which had already polled 12 members of Congress, 9 Republicans and 3 Democrats, from the House Judiciary Committee to Representative Judy Chu's office. All right, subject: recap of Hill convos about Biden and censorship. Yesterday, NetChoice's Chris Marchese met informally with 9 Republicans and 3 Democratic House staffers to gather intel about Facebook and Twitter in the New York Post story. The staffers hail from the House Judiciary. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go. Show replies. All right. NetChoice lets Twitter know a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings, with members saying it's a tipping point, complaining tech has grown so big that they can't even regulate themselves, so government may need to intervene, which is what we don't want. We do not want
it. But do we, though? We don't want government censoring people.
We don't want that, right, but I think if you're having government intervention, it's to say you can't censor.
Yeah, right, which is what the government should say. It's like, hey, it's if what you're basing your policies and all of these on is, we have to still reflect the Bill of Rights, right? That's what everyone's been saying up until this point. And so if you're going to let anyone be able to access your platform and say what they think is their opinion or facts or whatever, then you allow it. You can't go just censoring everyone because it fits your political agenda at all. And that's where I think the government needs to intervene, if anything, and say, well, hey, if you're going to make these standpoints and abide by the Bill of Rights, or it's not based on your policies, then you have to allow that to happen or not. And it's just, for me, my opinion, you have to either allow all or none. And that's based on your policy. And their policies, from what we've basically just experienced in the past 20, 30 minutes, is that they're not abiding by their own policies.
which goes back to our first episode with Alex Berenson.
Right. Yeah.
And he won his
full
case.
circle. Right.
Because that's
a good point.
Full circle. But yeah, I totally agree. I think it's all or none. You either allow, I would say you draw the line at calls to action or doxing. I would say that's where you draw the line.
Sure.
Because that's not freedom of speech. A call to action, like if you're in a crowded theater and you yell fire, that's not freedom of speech. That's a call to action.
Right.
That's illegal.
Right.
I would say that's where you draw the line.
And you know what? Great example is YouTube banning one of our episodes and saying you can't talk about this and that. And
You're not letting us go.
I'm not going to let it go, but I get it if that's
bullshit.
their policy. But then here I am saying like, hey, I'm just talking about other articles that were being produced, and I'm just talking about like what I think. I'm not saying, especially for last episode, for us to get a strike. I never said, and I read through all the terms and conditions that you can't do this or that. I'm just basically saying this is a real video that just happened, and this is my reaction to that video. I work in the field. I'm a substrate of it, and I know what I'm talking about. But for you to come out here and say, oh, you can't talk about that, blows my mind. And that
well said.
It shouldn't be a fucking thing. And it's the same thing with Twitter here. The same thing. And it just, for anyone that has an opinion that doesn't go against that, goes against their whatever agenda or whatever politician is saying, well, Sam can't say that, or Indecent Exposure podcast can't say that because that doesn't agree with where I align my beliefs. Like, it's blasphemy. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you want to open the doors and have a good debate on he said, they said, facts, political story, and just open that up? I'd love to have those conversations, especially with people that say, oh, the guy that we did an episode about last week, and say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, why doesn't it? That's probably the most truthful, honest conversation that guy's ever had. I don't give a shit if you think that guy was saying that he was a liar and whatnot. There's so much,
just trying to impress somebody.
There's so much truth to that, and you know it. You're not an idiot. No one's an idiot. You just don't want to hear anything against like what everyone's been trying to control us about, and that's the whole thing. The whole thing why we're doing this podcast. We want to put stuff out there that's controversial and have that talk, and not just like shut us down. And that's all it's become, and it's really sad. Because I do want to hear other people's opinions. Seriously. I mean, I bring up like Jordan Peterson. I know not everyone's a big fan of him, or if you are or not, but I feel like if there's something that you totally disagree with him and he sees it, then he retracts that statement and says, I never saw it in that sort of light. And so I think that's something that we all need to kind of look introversely at ourselves and say, that's a great point. And I didn't see it from that standpoint. And so you can't sit here, whatever the side of the aisle you're on, and look at this and say, something's kind of a little bit messed up. And why are people trying to expose the truth, being just so shut down on stuff like this when it's really important? I mean, we're talking about the president of the United States and his son. I mean, yeah, his son's not running for office, but it's a political action that everyone else like puts all their money and power into to try to shut down the other side. And it's just like, it's exhausting for one thing.
Right. But I mean, the Hunter Biden story also opens the door to potential,
the collusion that President Trump,
Joe Biden could be doing something illegal, and it could be hidden. And this could be opening the door and stopping that, that collusion.
And it was so close to, and it is close to former President Trump's impeachment with the Ukraine, that whole ordeal, and why he got impeached that first time. Like and maybe I haven't found the disconnect yet, and maybe I need to do some more research. But wasn't there had to have been some sort of collusion with Trump, Ukraine, and Hunter Biden, right? And I'm just speculating. I have no idea. I might be just talking out my ass. I'm not saying anyone
Hunter
did
Biden worked
anything, but I know Trump got
He worked
impeached
for
a reason.
but he survived it.
Right.
He survived impeachment.
Right.
It came out. Yeah, it came out. They impeached him. They ended up investigating, and he came out clean.
Right.
Hunter Biden worked. I can't remember who he works for, or who he.
I thought it was for
He
like
worked
a
for,
utility company.
Yeah, or like utility or energy company.
Right.
And he was allegedly using his dad's influence,
Right.
to get his job there and for them to make decisions. And so you have foreign actors now.
I wonder
within the
so
government.
that's where I'm trying to draw conclusions and or just be able to wrap my head around the whole Russia and Ukraine war. As like I feel like it's an indirect response to Russia attacking Ukraine to a degree, but I don't know that. But that's just my hunch. It's just
I don't know,
purely speculation.
Putin's also been trying to. It's not the first time he's
No, not at all.
tried to invade Ukraine,
No.
and
No,
that's a whole
he's
nother-
been wanting his own piece of his land back. Apparently, that has a big oil reserve there. So
right, and he's trying to resurrect the USSR and all that shit.
right, yeah,
But
it's all very interesting. Is there any more to this?
it is very
to
interesting.
this first part because there's a lot that came from these.
This is it. This is it
All right,
for the first
let's
part.
wrap this up.
It says Szabo reports to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as Tech's Access Hollywood movement. And I'm pretty sure that's all this says.
Yeah,
Hollywood moment, and it has no Hillary to hide behind. Others are more blunt. Tech is screwed, and rightfully so. Twitter files continued. The First Amendment, this is the part where it gets a little concerning. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Szabo's letter contains chilling passages relaying Democratic lawmakers' attitudes. They want more moderation, and as for the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute.
why is it not absolute?
100% disagree.
Yeah, why?
It is
well, yeah,
absolute.
I was going to say it's a Bill of Rights. It's our First Amendment.
It's very
It's
absolute.
the first thing that we talk about. We the
It's
people,
the first
baby.
thing. Yep. You look at it. Oh, it's right there. It's number one.
Right.
The Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt, even though Biden is innocent. Again, innocent until proven guilty.
Sure,
So
100%.
that's fair. They linked this to Hillary Clinton's email scandal. She did nothing wrong, but because the press wouldn't I disagree with that. Wouldn't let the story
Sure.
go.
No, I
it
wouldn't.
It became a scandal far out of proportion. Not far out of proportion. In their mind, social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content. So when it does, like it did yesterday, it becomes a story. If the companies moderated more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. The Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative.
Right.
What the fuck does that even mean? When pushed on how the government might insist on that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred the First Amendment isn't absolute. That is concerning. That's what they've all come to conclude.
I mean, they're just
social
trying to stack up everything they can to bring down the other side, right? That's what both parties do every
Sure.
election cycle, every fucking day of their lives. That's all they
Right.
want to just stack up things. And so the Democrats have a really good, powerful tool, and it's called social media. They control,
Big tech.
yeah.
Yep.
Especially they probably recognize early on, hey, if we can get ahead of being friends with these guys and being able to control the media,
Having the contacts and
right, then
control stories,
oh
control
yeah,
narratives.
then why do you think this country's so divided? They're not expecting most Americans to do what we're doing and actually look into what's being happened. Sure, now people are listening to us, and so we can create our own narrative. But hey, YouTube, we're just looking at the facts about what's out there. We're not making anything up.
I mean,
again, what I said last episode.
Biden could.
We're not conspiracy theorists. We just look at what's being talked about, and let's take a little deeper dive than just what we probably see on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Snopes, like all of the media outlets out there.
100%.
Just take it.
And look,
it didn't take that long.
Look,
yeah,
Biden could be innocent.
Could be.
But why can't we investigate?
Right.
There's enough evidence there to investigate.
I agree.
In the Hillary Clinton email scandal, we have evidence that she deleted thousands and had a private server.
About 33,000 emails.
33,000 emails. And I think we have some of those emails too, thanks to our good friend over at WikiLeaks.
Yeah, WikiLeaks. So I
forget his name.
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange.
So but it just takes time for someone to go and look that stuff up. But then once you do enough research and probably figure it out, and then you go like try to post and be like, "Hey guys, this is what I found out." You can go read them for yourselves. Here's the link, and then you have a company like Twitter saying, "Well, that's just fake news," or like debunking it, or just straight up just saying, "Yeah, you're not going to post that on our platform," which is okay. Although it is a public company, you can suppress people all you want, right? But
wrong.
You're wrong because it goes against the Bill of Rights. And so in my opinion, especially in America, if you're going to create a company, you have to intertwine the Bill of Rights with your private policies, with your own policies, whether they be private or not. You're not bigger than the government, than the Bill of Rights, right? And so I think that's where we saw the earlier tweet saying, yes, some government intervention needs to be required, which I think would be a good thing.
Right. To protect people's individual liberties and rights.
At least the first 10 Bill of Rights.
Like you can have all these policies and whatnot because you're a company and
correct.
You're allowed to do that.
Right.
But once you start infringing on people's rights, I think the government can step in and say, hey, we're overriding this violation of your policy.
Right. Which is crazy for you to even admit, because I think that the government should have a little bit of regulation when it comes to what's being said. But now,
I think we have to be careful with the term regulation.
Right.
Though.
The government's own policies and regulations are in itself absolutely abrupt. And as soon as we get money out of politics, we'd have a more efficient government. But I don't think that's ever going to happen in our lifetime.
Right. Give them an inch, they take a mile kind of thing. That's where it gets a little tricky.
It's that so many people have their hands in the pot that no one's going to rat each other out.
No.
There's so many hands. There's too many hands. It's kind of like everyone's been saying that the NFL is rigged. And as much as you want to believe that, there's way too many hands in that pot that would ever be come out as, yes, it is. And here's the script.
Yeah.
So.
Last tweet. The amazing subplot of the Twitter Hunter Biden laptop affair was how much was done without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey.
It's crazy.
And how long it took for this situation to get unfucked, quote unquote, as one ex-employee put it, even after Dorsey jumped in.
But do you think Mr. Jack Dorsey would, and I have no idea about this guy, but do you think he would actually be like, oh, what are you guys doing? Or do you think he would, if he heard about it, do you think he'd be like, why are you suppressing one of our own employees?
I have no idea what his reaction would be. I don't really have a good read on that guy.
I don't know anything about him, so I can't say anything about Mr. Jack Dorsey. But I have no buts. So it's interesting. I don't think he'd handle things differently. I don't think anyone was like knowing that like someone like Elon was going to purchase Twitter either. I don't think anyone was like what Elon bought Twitter for, I think was so overvalued. Yeah, it's one of the biggest social media platforms in the world.
It's not bigger than Facebook.
It's not worth $44 million. I know that, or 44 billion, excuse me. So I think they got a steal, and they said, "All right, we're just going to hightail it out of here. We're good." Like those guys will never have to worry about working another day in their life. I don't think they, anyways, had to worry about their wealth.
I don't think we want them to.
Right. No, and I think it's kind of funny now that Elon's overhead Twitter. He's gotten so much shit for being a incompetent CEO. But I'm not going to tell any CEO how to run their own company. You can get all the criticism that you want, you know?
I mean, how long has he owned the company?
Like 4 months, 5 months, maybe.
So, let's give it a year and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously done great as a CEO and his other endeavors. I don't know. I don't see him as like a hero or anything, but I don't view Elon as a terrible person. Can you tell her to shut up?
Like, dude, I'm trying to film an episode here.
Right. My goodness.
Jeez.
Oh, well. Anywho. Well,
I say next time we gotta sprinkle a little Russell Wilson in. We haven't talked about him in a while.
I know. Kind of feel bad.
And I saw a hilarious interview.
I didn't even want to hear about it. So I want it to be my first reaction. Unless I unfortunately see it on TikTok or something. So
I don't think you will.
Yeah. It's like private. You and Russell go way back.
Yep.
Yep.
He sees our show. He's watched our show.
Yeah. I've heard good things.
Shout out Russell Wilson.
Yeah. It's Russell Wilson. We're coming at you.
We're coming at you. Well, anything else for the people?
No, man. I'm solid. I'm content. This is a fun episode.
We did some good work today.
Yeah.
With fast food restaurants.
Yeah. Let us know your comments.
And Twitter.
If you disagree with me, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
If you disagree with me, I agree with you.
Yeah. I get it. Everyone has their own thing. I think people will be like, Arby's, really? A B?
Yeah. Fucking terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. Well, we'll do yours next time and go over Twitter Part 2.
Twitter Part 2. I think there's 5 parts to it.
5 parts. Oh, people are going to get tired of it. Just kidding.
Well, we'll see how long. I'm going to look in to see how long they are. Maybe we can combine 2 into 1 or something like that. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Don't fret.
All right. I won't.
Good.
This episode is sponsored by Kirkland. Just kidding. But hey, wish. Costco, if you want to sponsor us, I'm here for it. I have raving reviews about all your products. I don't have any around my room, but
I was trying to look for something.
Yeah. It's all in my fridge.
I am a big fan of Dynamite. SCDM1 preamps, inline preamps. Really enjoying how loud my fucking mic is now. It looks like a Dynamite.
What is this?
But it's not.
Brother. Oh my God. It's like, don't kill yourself live on air, man. I don't think I can live with that.
Dynamite, SCDM1.
All right. There you heard it.
They heard it. All right. Well, that's all we got for this one. Right. We'll see you in the next one. All right.
All right, brother. Good talking to you.
All right. You too.
Take it easy.
Congratulations. You've made it to the end. You might as well tune in for the next episode of Indecent Exposure. That's all, folks. Until next time, Space Cowboy.